Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Sports Factory podcast. Today, we're going to talk about something very exciting happening. The NBA playoffs is coming soon. Yesterday, that Sunday, the last day of the regular season, so many hilarious things happened. Everybody was trying to box. Rudy Gobert, I love you, boy. Rudy Gobert is hilarious, and that's how I could tell the Minnesota Timberwolves absolutely have no plot whatsoever. Because they lost their best defender because they punched. Their two best defenders got lost against the Lakers. One of them punched the wall and broke his hand. The other one punched his teammate and got sent home. That's funny. Y'all are funny people. So I commend the Minnesota Timberwolves for showing the world why they have no plot. Anthony Edwards, if you can, try to get out of there as fast as you can. Don't be like Kevin Garnett. Spend way too much time in that city, then do anything. So leave as fast as you can. They're likely going to lose to the Lakers, so good job, Lakers, for getting that little bit of plot. I'm curious, though. What did y'all think about that? Did you think Rudy Gobert should be suspended for a game against the Lakers? Do you think they should play him, or do you think he should be suspended?
Yeah, do I think they should play him? I mean, they spent a lot of money. They spent a lot of assets on him. Like 4 first-round picks, maybe? 4 first-round picks on him.
With some players.
And they are the 7th. They're if they lose this game, they have one more play-in, right? To make the 8th seed.
Yeah.
Okay. I would still want to play him regardless. I mean, like, I guess he pushed him. I mean, Kyle Anderson, is he really that? He is pretty valuable to that team. He's a good defender, and he's like the glue guy, I guess. But, like, I would still play him. I mean, nonetheless, you spent all that money on him, all them assets. I mean, like, you can suspend him game 1 next at the beginning of the season. I'm like, a game suspension could be happening anytime. It's not like it can't roll over to the next season, to me personally. But yeah, I would definitely play him. I mean, like, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it's a big deal, but it's really not that big of a deal. Especially during the playoffs. This is an important time. Like, this is where we play for. We played all 82 games. Well, I guess for them, all 81 games to get to this point. There's no point. We're not here to bullshit around. Like, that's sort of like that's like a kick in the face to the fans, at least to me personally.
I feel that. Zach, what you about to say?
Oh, I was just saying, yeah, they went from 7th seed to 8th seed like in a year's time, so they actually got worse, if I'm being honest, after the trade, which is ironic, or which is funny, but because of all the crap they gave up. But I'm kind of on the other side, especially since I coach. I see it as they did the right thing in my opinion, for just one game, because after watching the video, I mean, he didn't punch him in the face. He just, kind of. It was almost like a push in the chest. I mean, he punched him, of course, as a 7-foot man. That's going to hurt. But at the same time, there wasn't as much like malicious intent to where it would have involved being out the whole playoffs or being out more than one game. So I think the 1-game suspension is actually like perfect for him. I would have done the same thing in their shoes. And, it's just about holding players accountable. I mean, as a coach and the GM, owner, whoever has a say in what they want to do, they have to hold him accountable, and they can't just say, oh, well, it's the playoffs, we got to let him play. They got to hold him accountable and let him know this is not how we're going to do it. The chemistry's already off as it is, so this is going to make it worse. Kyle Anderson is also, if I read the statistic right, he spent the most minutes this season guarding all-stars. So, he's like you said, Maurice, he's a really valuable defender. So, there's no reason that he should be doing that to any of his teammates. He's a hothead, so,
the funny thing I'll tell y'all, I think Rudy Gobert is the most overrated player in our league. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Rudy Gobert, oh my goodness, because look, that's the worst trade since the Brooklyn Nets trade, when they traded everybody for Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce. That's the worst trade. I literally didn't see, like, Utah drafted Walker Kessler, and Walker Kessler does essentially the same thing Rudy does. Obviously, Rudy's a better player, but Walker Kessler is much cheaper, and that's something so it shows you that he's replaceable in a sense, right? Rudy Gobert, I think your 3 defensive player of the years were just kind of like lazy. There were type of things where it's like, yeah, we'll just give it to him. I don't think he was like, because you could give it, there's a lot of people you give it to, but I just feel like you just gave it to him. Like when Dwight Howard won defensive player of the year back in the day with 3 straight, like he was truly to me like the most dominant defensive player. Rudy Gobert, you're a great defensive player as well, but it's just, to me, it's just kind of like, okay, we'll just give it to Rudy. But I was like, it's fine, good job, do your thing. But 4 first-round picks for a non-offensive player, is freaking crazy. I don't know if you thought Dennis, the only person you could even try to do that for is like a Dennis Rodman in the 90s. But there is no way you trade 4 first-round picks and 3 players for a non-offensive player in 2023 basketball. Minnesota tried
5 players.
Oh, I think it's 5. You're right. It's 5 players. I think
in a pick swap actually. So it was really essentially almost 5 picks and 5 players. I mean, it's not really 5 picks. It's a pick swap, but
yeah,
it's not good. I'll agree with you there. It's not good
because they try. Because here's the thing, and because teams realize like Minnesota, like we have no plot. We have no way to succeed, right? No team's gonna be like, no superstar gonna be like, let me go to Minnesota, man. Let's go to the cold. I want to freeze in the winter when I play basketball. Nobody does that, right? So obviously everyone's not going to Minnesota. So they said, let's be aggressive. But if you're gonna be aggressive, go be aggressive to like, you gotta find someone else to be aggressive, but not him. Go get Donovan Mitchell. You got the wrong one. Go get Donovan Mitchell. So no, I trade them picks for Donovan Mitchell, offensive player. I can live with the offensive player who can't play defense. Like, what would you rather have? A great offensive player who can't play defense or a great defensive player who can't play offense? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what would you rather have? Am I tripping or something? Like,
would you rather have Carmelo? Would you rather have Melo, or would you rather have Rudy Gobert?
All right, as my number 1, I'm taking Carmelo. He can't defend, but I can build something. I can build something around Carmelo. You know what I'm saying? I can't build nothing around Rudy. Rudy can't score. He can't score. I can't really build as much. So, like, that whole team's construction is terrible. Karl-Anthony Towns cannot defend as well. So the help defense on that's terrible. So everything is like he has all the stress going towards Rudy Gobert.
Well, I thought was that the reason why I got him? It's because Karl can't play defense.
That's the reason
why they did it.
That makes sense, but at the same time, like, he can't score. Like, Rudy Gobert could score, but Karl is such a bad defensive player as well. It didn't even work. The spacing isn't the best because Rudy can't freaking shoot. And then you know how the Mavericks basically destroyed him in the last postseason with all small ball. He can't go out there that far. I'm like, what are you out here for? Like, your purpose is defense, and now you have a defensive weakness too? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, what's up? Nah, man, I'm sorry. I can't do that. That's terrible. That's the worst trade since Brooklyn, boy. Y'all got bamboozled.
So are they better on? Are they better with him on the floor or not better with him on the floor?
They are.
How you'd expect
go ahead.
It's my bad, man.
Go ahead, Zach.
It's actually how you'd expect it. Whenever Cat's on the floor, they're better offensively. Whenever Rudy Gobert's on the floor, they're better defensively. But when they're both on the floor together, they're worse altogether. So it's really redundant, dude. It's just. I don't know, man. I mean, I understand the thought process and hindsight, but it just now the crazy thing is if you look over in Cleveland where they have
Mobley and Allen.
Allen, dude, that works so well. They're the number 1 defense in the league, and they have the Twin Towers just like they got over in Minnesota, except their Twin Towers actually mesh well together.
It's because they can defend. They both can defend. So is the blame Karl-Anthony Towns?
He has a lot to blame.
Is that the biggest blame?
It's a lot to blame. Karl-Anthony Towns definitely is a huge because I'm telling you something. We roasted Timberwolves today, bro. Karl, boy, come on, man. You've been in the league since I was in high school, man. It's 2015. Sometimes I feel like you knew, but you're not new. You've been here for a while, right? Like, when is that push? I need to know, when are you gonna take that step? Like your colleague Devin Booker, he took that step. Right, like Devin Booker been to the finals. Devin Booker, high-end star, established. Like he's that guy, right? Like Karl-Anthony Towns, bro, you be like changing your voice when you do these interviews, and you be like you be walking people's celebration. He does the Mikal Bridges celebration, and I'm like, bro, like you too corny for me, man. Like, bro, I'm sorry. I need you to have you're a center who can shoot threes. You're one of the best 3-point shooting centers of all time. He claimed he's the best. I don't think he's the best because I know you ain't done none in the postseason. You've been to the first round twice. You lost to me in 5, and you lost to Grizzlies in 6. I'm not going to give you all that. But I need to see that push. But obviously this year I don't see it. I think you need to leave. I think, obviously I would trade Karl-Anthony Towns from Minnesota because I need some picks back from that Rudy Gobert trade, and nobody taking Rudy Gobert right now. So I'm trading Karl-Anthony Towns to some team who thinks he might be the last piece to get him over there. But like that team's it's a mess. They tried to escape purgatory and they couldn't because he's not a superstar. You don't do that for non-superstars. Come on. It's a shame. Hey, Minnesota, you're going to lose. Jaden McDaniel broke your hand. I don't know what the heck wrong with that team. I don't know why he punched that wall. He when he faced LeBron, he did a decent job of guarding LeBron. You're gonna face LeBron now, but you're out for the season because you punched the wall. That's so like your plot sucked. Your plot is tough. Oh man, I don't know who got. There's not a lot of teams that got worse plot than Minnesota. It's not a lot of teams. It's only maybe 2 or 3. Maurice, you might have one of them, but this year, this year, y'all losing in 7 instead of 5.
I know. I watched the video. Good for us.
Yeah, lose. That's better. I wanted to give it to you though. Maurice, I wanted to give it to you. I definitely wanted to say, hey, you know what, you're gonna win in 7 games. But I was like, I could see that.
I was gonna say 6. I was gonna say we're gonna lose in 6. To me personally, that's all I was saying. But hey, if you want to go for 7, I mean that's not bad. I mean 6 or 7, I think. Are we moving on to the next topic? Moving on to this one. All right. I mean, for me personally, I think the game that series gonna come down to it's not even. I mean, it's gonna be a little bit of Julius Randle too, and RJ Barrett. But I think the biggest thing that really comes down to is the bigs. It really depends on what big is gonna be better between Jared Allen, Mitchell Robinson, Evan Mobley, I guess Julius Randle. Who's gonna have the better bigs in that series? Like who'll get offensive rebounds? I think that's gonna be really important since we're the number 2 offensive rated in the league, and they're the number 1 defensive rated, if I'm not mistaken. Those offensive rebounds will be very important in those type of games. So yeah, I think whoever has a bigger big at the end of the day, at the end of the series, probably will win. And I believe that's probably gonna be the Cleveland Cavaliers.
That makes sense. If at least someone getting the ball out of Julius Randle's hands, Jalen Brunson. Because last time Julius Randle was in the postseason was some of the worst basketball I have ever seen. I have not seen stuff worse than that. That was crazy bad.
Yeah, that was horrendous.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, look, Breeze. Because we were rooting for you too, man. And boy, that was the difference. He was just so awful. That was the difference. RJ Barrett couldn't hit no threes either. It was tough.
It was awful. Everybody was just awful. It almost seemed like we wasn't supposed to be there. Like we got lucky. We got very lucky until we got to that point. And who knows? Maybe that can happen again. We'll see.
No, but this year you got some
but it's very Julius Randle of him to get injured. Like we said, they get injured and he won't come shoot up a whole bunch of shots to try and get back into rhythm, and then we lose that first game, the first 2 games because of it. I definitely could see him shooting a whole bunch of shots so he can get into rhythm and then losing. We lose because of it. He gonna be like 25. He'll have 25 points on 25 shots, or 20 points on 20 shots, something like that.
You see the future, man. Hey, Jalen Brunson, get that ball out of his hands, and you close it. Jalen Brunson dropped 48 on them boys, didn't he? Or 48, something like that. And he dropped 48 on Cleveland by himself.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know if Isaiah Okoro was playing, but yeah, he did.
Emmanuel Quickly, 6-man of the year candidate. You got Josh Hart, glue guy. Your team is better than like last time you were in there. The only other offense you had really that I saw was like Derrick Rose. Like it was RJ Barrett can hit shots, Julius Randle can hit shots. So it was just like, let's see what Derrick Rose can do. And that's not like, it's not 2010. So it's obviously not the right time to do that. But, you got Quentin Grimes, you got Josh Hart, you got, Jalen Brunson could drop essentially 50. He proved he could drop 50 almost. You know what I'm saying? So he's obviously an extreme offensive option. I don't know if RJ Barrett has improved as a basketball player.
RJ Barrett is, I don't know. He a weird, who knows, like, I don't know. I don't know about RJ Barrett. To me personally, he's definitely a tradable candidate. To me personally, trade him for maybe a better star. I mean,
trade for Mitchell.
Or Mitchell. So have Mitchell and Drew and
You've been small, Brunson. But you've been scoring. You've been small, but you've been scoring, boy.
It would have been very small ball. But I guess we have the defenders for it. But we'll never know that until now. That doesn't matter. But well, I don't know. RJ Barrett, he's a very tradable person. We'll see what he does this offseason or this postseason. And maybe coming next trade deadline is probably when he'll be traded for something. Maybe. We'll see. Wait, what?
Would you trade him? Would you trade him for Cat?
No. Why would I do that? That sounds terrible.
Would they trade Cat for him?
Would they? I mean, I think they get a better deal. I think they will probably. I feel like RJ Barrett, like he's not a terrible defender, but I feel like he's definitely better than Cat. Like he's definitely better than Cat. Now, Cat's a better shooter, definitely. And RJ Barrett can get to the hole by himself, but yeah, I think I wouldn't trade for Cat. That would be that, because then we have Julius Randle, Cat, and Mitchell Robinson. That all just seems like all types of ass.
A log jam.
That's not like all types of ass. So that's how you just ruin a franchise in one foul swoop.
Or you get employ Kyrie Irving. I don't know. No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't take no shot, Kyrie Irving. I'm not taking a shot, Kyrie Irving.
Every single time you get on the team, that should implode. No, I'm good. I'm good on that one. His talent there, though.
His talent, he's high-end star. I'm tell you about Kyrie real quick. I'm jump on Kyrie real quick. And the Dallas Mavericks. I do have to talk about Dallas Mavericks. Number one, Kyrie. I'm not gonna blame you entirely or like heavily for that. I'm not. I'm gonna blame. I guess technically you could blame because they traded their defenders for you. So there's a reason why they can't win is because their defense is awful. They were the 4th seed at one point, 5 games above 500. And now they out of the whole entire playoffs. That's hilarious. Another thing with that, I'll tell you this though. You remember? Have you ever seen like those memes where it shows like, it shows like strong independent versus bum? Like, so it's like say like you're working at McDonald's, right? It's like one person working at McDonald's like is a bum, another person working at McDonald's is strong independent, type of thing. If you look at James Harden, he'd be the bum and Luka Doncic would be strong and independent. If James Harden missed the entire postseason plus the play-in, so 2 extra spots, they would shoot and kill him. Prime James Harden, they would have shot him in his freaking head. They would have found his house and shot him. Luka Doncic missed the postseason. They're not saying a lot about Luka Doncic missing the postseason. Obviously, they're saying like Dallas is a mess, this and that, but they're not destroying Luka like they would destroy James. James Harden been the 1 seed. They say he been a 1 seed, he been a 2 seed. I know one thing about James Harden. He may not make the finals because there's this light-skinned people shooting in the West Coast and stuff. But I'll tell you what though, he'll give me home court advantage. I'll have home court at least in the first round every year. I don't have to ever rely on a play-in game except for, a couple years. But for the most part, I ain't got to rely on no play-in game. We in the postseason. We get into the second round, maybe the conference finals. Luka just missed the entire thing. Hey, that's Hey, you're supposed to be the main character in training. It's a little mark on your. That's a little mark. Main character in training. But I'm curious though. They tanked. Dallas Mavericks. They tanked at the end of the season. Do you think the Dallas Mavericks should have tanked, or do you think that the Dallas Mavericks should have fought and try to get their way into the play-in game because they have a superstar player? What do y'all think?
Should they have tanked? They only guaranteeing a top 10 pick. I don't know it really depends on how they draft normally. They don't really draft. I don't think they draft as well. They got lucky with Luka Doncic. What I consider a luck, because they did trade up. They traded for him, so maybe they knew something we didn't. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't luck. I think I would.
Go ahead.
I think they should probably at least tried. Like, they tried for 1 quarter and then took him out. I don't know. I don't even know why he played that 1 quarter. I never.
They played. It was Slovenian night. So like he is that nationality. So they wanted to give those people a quarter.
Oh, that's funny as shit. Okay.
Jaden Hardy, so that wasn't bad.
Say it again.
So they drafted Jaden Hardy. that wasn't a bad pick.
Oh yeah, that's a good pick. That was a good pick.
Yeah, and they got Luka. Before Luka, they had got Dennis Smith, and he didn't work out with Luka. But before
he's supposed to be a Knick.
They got Luka. He wasn't too bad. So yeah, they don't draft the worst.
I think I would have tried. I would have tried to get into the playoff. But maybe I'm biased because I'm a Knicks fan, and I would have got their pick. So this also. But so I would at least try. They was right. They only have to beat. I don't know who they win against. OKC had to lose, right? And they just had to win out their last 2 games. And who they They almost beat the Bulls, and I don't know who they won against their last game.
I think the Spurs. They would have beat the Spurs if they tried.
They would have beat both of them if they both. Did Luka play that Chicago game?
Yeah. Oh no. He played. No. They almost beat the Bulls though. That
was without everybody, right? They took everybody, but so nobody. Luka didn't even play. So yeah, they would have beat. They probably would have beat the Bulls. Who knows? Maybe it's like the Ewing effect type shit. But
yeah, that's hilarious.
But they probably would have beat the Bulls. And then OKC, I don't know who OKC won against the last 2 years. Last 2 games. I would at least tried. You see what Luka do. Luka in the playoffs just turned into something different. You never know what could happen. He could have beat. If they would have, so they would have went against
the Pelicans.
The Pelicans. Oh, they could probably possibly because Zion not playing. I mean, Pelicans have been pretty. Well, they fell off. They did fall off, but they have a pretty good team around them. But I could definitely see the superstar plot come out and beat the Pelicans.
And he beat the Timberwolves too. They freaking best defender broke their hand. Best defender broke their hand.
There you go. And they would have been the 7 seed, 8 seed or something. They probably would have lost the Nuggets though.
They would get the Nuggets work though. They would have the Nuggets work though.
They would have been in 7, and then the homie, Jared would have been stressed. He'll have been very stressed. So
because Luka, a stressful player. Luka's one of the most stressful players ever to play against. But I tell you, man, yeah, I definitely would have played Luka. I would have went for it. I don't know. I just feel like you gotta. I know you're trying to, get the 10th. Maybe you have like a 2%, 3% chance to get Wembanyama too. I don't know. Maybe you try to win the lottery. But it's like, and I guess in technicality, maybe logic, reason, you maybe say maybe we should tank. But it's like, man, you got Luka Doncic, you got Kyrie Irving. You're it's realistic that you can get into play. It's not like you're like 4 games back, or it's not like the Thunder or like the Warriors in the past. Like it's like, oh, you're definitely not gonna. They're facing the easiest schedule. Like there was y'all could have definitely won. Y'all gave up before y'all had a shot. So I mean, hey, I guess it makes sense to an extent, but it sucks that Luka and Kyrie. And I'm not gonna blame you, Kyrie. I know every franchise you go to always be having some type of problems. But I'm not gonna roast you too bad, Kyrie. I'm just saying defense.
This was not. I wouldn't say. I mean, this really wasn't Kyrie's fault this time, because he definitely was. This was more like this on the front office. They just picked the wrong. They picked the wrong type of player to trade for. I mean, they probably should have. They probably. I mean, who else was traded this trade deadline? I don't even know. There was a bunch of players that got traded.
Wasn't it Kyle Kuzma?
No, Kyle Kuzma didn't get traded. I think he still. But they should have got a 3-and-D guy. They should have. If they could have done a 3-way trade and maybe got Mikal Bridges or something. I would try to get
Bridges. Would have been. Mikal Bridges would have been amazing with Luka.
There you go.
That's like the perfect person with Luka.
There you go. Somebody they should have got someone who can play defense. I mean, yes, they need another ball handler. They want to get Spencer Dinwiddie anyway. So if they would have tried to got Spencer Dinwiddie and they already had Spencer Dinwiddie. I'm bugging. They didn't trade for him. They already had him. If they would have got like a Mikal Bridges, somebody who can defend like a 1 through 4, 1 through 3, they would have been a lot better. They didn't really have to give up that many assets for it.
And that's never letting him go though.
And he was low. He was low. Yeah, he was low because most people saw him as a role player. I mean, he was like a role star to me. He was like the star role player that everybody probably wanted.
Now he's just a low end star.
Yeah, now he's just a low end star, averaging 27 after the trade deadline. He's been killing it. So
they still in the playoffs. They succeed. Like did amazing. Good. Hey, but hey, Zach, do you think? I don't know if you answered. Do you think they should have tanked, or do you think they should have kept going?
No, I think they should have tried. I mean, Luka came out and said he didn't agree with the tanking. So there, you have your best player. Well, you have your star player, not just best. It's an argument. It could be him or Kyrie. But you have your star player saying he wanted to play. You got Kyrie probably going to leave. You got Christian Wood probably going to leave. So your
for sure
3 best players are all going to be in different areas. Luka's going to be with the Mavs. Kyrie's going to go God knows where, probably some California team, Lakers.
That team too.
Then Christian Wood's going to go God knows where. So, this is I guess you could say it's really the last dance. I mean, I know their chemistry wasn't anything like it should have been, and Christian Wood wasn't getting any of the minutes he should have been until I think the last few games he was getting good minutes, but that's because no one was playing. But yeah, I mean, you may as well go all in. I mean, I know you wouldn't get your first round pick because they essentially had to miss the playoffs to get their pick, or if they made the playoffs, they wouldn't get their pick, if I remember correctly. So they wouldn't have got their first round pick, but if you got those types of players, you have to go all in.
Hey, well, they're doing an investigation.
They're not gonna take their pick away though.
That'd be hilarious. That'd be the funniest thing. No, because that'd be too big of a troll.
Yeah, they won't. They'll probably take like a second round pick, maybe this year or next year, or something like that. They're not gonna take this year's pick. I don't believe so. If they do, that should be absolutely hilarious.
That'd be funny. They give it to the Knicks anyway. There you go. That'd be hilarious.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked at it because I don't know. Are they locked into a top 10 pick now?
I don't know.
Because I think I saw they have an 80% chance. So they're basically locked in, but they have an 80% chance to getting a top 10 pick and like a 20% chance of falling out, depending if somebody in the 11 through 15 moves up in the draft. But
and if they fall out,
It was really, yeah, it was really, yeah, this is bad plot. But you know what's funny? I mean, I remember you saying like you said earlier today, like you were saying that you rather just go straight in on offense. I mean, technically that's what they did, right? Like we were just talking about the Timberwolves, they went on defense by trading 4 first-round picks, right? Obviously, they didn't trade that much for Kyrie. I think they only traded a pick or something like that, and the defenders, obviously. But I mean, it goes both ways. You need both players. You need offensive and defense players. You can't just go all on defense because you turn like something like the Timberwolves, and you can't go on offense and you turn out something like the Mavs.
Right. I mean, that makes sense. I would say that certain offense, if you build the offensive team right, like do like the 05 Suns, if you build it right, then it just failed in the postseason rather than the regular season. They just they just failed in general because they did not build it correctly and they had bad,
Maybe I mean defense. Jason Kidd is not. He's a defensive coach, so he's not an offensive minded coach. So that could who knows? Maybe they keep Kyrie and they do a coaching change instead.
But don't take my coaches. I'm trying to get Ime Udoka. Maybe not. Let me not. He has problems. I might go for Nick Nurse because I don't want the extra memes of people roasting my team because of his past mistakes. I might just go. Let's just get Nick Nurse. But I do want to talk. Zach, I remember I told you I made a whole short about it too. I made a whole YouTube short on this, and I told you don't face the main characters, and you're going to face the main character. And I looked at that. I said, "Dang!" I warned y'all too. I said, "Man, do something to get out of that." Because I mean, I won't lie. I'd rather face the Lakers. I think the Lakers are a little more fraudulent than the Warriors would be. The Warriors are obviously the Lakers are really good still, but I think they're more fraudulent than the Warriors would be. I don't think you're a favorite in that series. I'm pretty sure you're not a favorite. I think everyone's picking the Warriors in 6 or 7 games. Zach, do you believe in magic? Do you believe in your Sacramento Kings to beat the Golden State Warriors?
Yeah, I was definitely hoping it would be the Clippers out of all teams. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, they got some star power, but I don't know. They just feel like the most out of those 3 teams, the most beatable. Because LeBron in the playoffs. I mean, it's LeBron.
Crazy.
So yeah, I'd go either. I would have gone Clippers most probable. I wanted them to play, then Lakers, then Warriors. But the cards fell with the Warriors, so it's completely fine. As to what you asked, yeah, I mean, of course, being a fan, I have to believe in my team. I have to hope they'll win. And, Mike Brown being coach of the year, favorite, probably more than likely lock, he has to carry that over to the playoffs. I mean, winning coach of the year, I know that's a regular season feat, but if you're really the coach of the year, if you're really what everybody believes you to be, you'll carry that over to the playoffs and beat everybody in front of you, I mean, get as far as you can with the players you got. Of course, experience-wise, they have us beat there. Only person really with experience is Harrison Barnes and a little bit of...
Former Warrior. Former Warrior. As a former Warrior, exactly. Yeah, the only experience you got is a Warrior, basically, yeah.
Exactly. Same thing with Mike Brown. Well, Mike Brown has plenty of experience, but previously his 6 years was with the Warriors, where he won, what, two championships? 3?
Probably 3. Yeah, probably, so, for sure.
And then, I mean, if you look at the, advanced stats, we have, I think, we're better away defensively. I think I read that 26th defensively when we're home, which I don't understand that. And then 4th defensively when we're away. How is that such a big
day and night?
How are you better on the road defensively? I mean, do you your fans that I don't? Maybe they're saving it for the playoffs. One thing I have noticed though is if they run that 2-3 zone like they do when they play away, they can stop anybody. I mean, they can stop anybody. If we can beat the Warriors first round, I think we can go all the way, and then beating the Bucks would be a whole nother chore, man. Because I don't know anybody on earth that can stop Giannis besides maybe Joel Embiid. If we're talking 1-on-1, there's not really anybody who can stop Giannis. I mean, yeah, I think it'll come down to 6, 7 games. Hopefully 7, to where that last game will be all they got, and it'll be decided by whoever was able to grit it out, win it out, all that good stuff. But I think we can do it, man. I really do. I think hopefully I have to just really hope the age starts to catch up with them.
I'll tell you, man. Look, here are a couple of things. I'm gonna give you a Facing the Warriors guideline book. I have a whole book, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you a guideline book because I faced the Warriors 4 out of 5 years, didn't win once. So I'll tell you how, what to look for when you face the Warriors, right? In the postseason. Number one, look out for your team getting injured. That is very important. If you can survive the series without any injuries to your players, you have a better shot. Because if you looked at the Warriors past, someone always injured, right? When they beat these teams. You look at the Nuggets. What happened? Jamal Murray ain't play. Michael Porter ain't play. The Grizzlies. What happened? John Morant ain't play. When he faced us, what happened? Chris Paul got hurt. Look at the Spurs. Kawhi Leonard freaking almost fractured his ankle. What I'm saying? Look at the Cavaliers. Kyrie Irving got hurt. Kevin Love got hurt. If you can survive that, just survive the injury. Because look, I tell you, that Game 3 De'Aaron Fox injury gonna hurt. So I tell you,
man,
if you can.
Well, it wasn't with the Kawhi. That was Zaza, wasn't it? That did that.
Yeah, Zaza a cheap shot.
They don't have it anymore. He's a really dirty player. No one ever really liked him. But actually, wasn't that injury the reason they had that technical foul they just implemented, where you have to give them landing space? Wasn't that because of that?
Because of that freaking crap ruined a good conference finals, boy.
At least they've learned from past BS that's happened because of Zaza. But yeah, I mean, unless Draymond's sticking his finger in one of our players' eyes like he did LeBron.
Because he could do that too. He could do that too.
I saw actually on a podcast, Draymond was talking about how he wants to play the Kings because it'll be an easy cakewalk or something. He was talking his crap, and
I think he said the travel will be easy. I think he said travel. It's easier to travel because going to Memphis would be a lot crazier than just going to Sacramento.
Yeah. Well, he said the travel on an interview and then in a podcast, he said a different thing.
Oh,
but,
okay.
Yeah. I mean, even still, luckily the Kings players said they saw it, so they were like, oh, they definitely lit a fire in us. So.
It lit a fire, but y'all got plot because y'all can get a lot of fires lit out of you. But when your injury come, what fire gonna get lit? That's tough. So remember, okay, guideline 1, don't get injured. Number 2, them third quarters. Watch out for those third quarters, boy, because you'll have a 10, 15-point lead at half, and you're gonna feel like you good, right? But you have to understand when you get to that third quarter, right? Don't think of that 15-point lead no more. Think of it as it's tied, right? The game is tied now. It's not a 15-point lead. You know what I'm saying? I remember, Maurice, I told you back in the day, I said this. If you have to fourth quarter, say we got the fourth quarter, say you have 8 points. The goal is you just don't let the other team score 9 more points than you. You're going to win the game. If the other team does not score 9 more points than you in this quarter, you'll win this game.
Very true.
You got to keep it simple. You got to keep it simple in your brain like that. Because if you overcomplicate it, say we're up 15 against the Warriors, you're going to lose. Because I would tell you what's going to hit hard is that Mike Breen going to be calling this. And they gonna have these freaking stupid runs. And Klay Thompson, gonna be Klay Thompson. He gonna be wide open as a 3-pointer. And it's gonna fall. And you can wait for that bang. And that bang gonna hurt your heart. It's gonna hit too. Because that run
where he's fading into the crowd.
It's gonna hit. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt really hard. We were up 15 points in that game 7 at half. And you see what happens. So prepare for them third quarters. When they happen, okay? Very important. Now, number 3, you're going to get later into the series. This is when the plots circulate the most. There is such thing. Game 6 Klay is a thing. Be prepared for Game 6 Klay. Don't even count Game 6 as a win. Okay? Don't even count that as a win. You understand? Like, hopefully, the goal is this. Be up during Game 6. Like, be 3-2. Like, have a 3-2 advantage. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't be down 2-3 in going to Game 6. Because you just don't watch Game 6. You know what I'm saying? Because you would think, especially Game 6 gonna be in Golden State, like that's terrible. Like that's awful. When we faced the Warriors in Game 6 in Golden State, we were winning by like 10, 11, 12. Game 6 Klay happened and we lost by like 20, 30 points. It's freaking ridiculous. So don't just wait. Look up for Game 6. Try to win in 6. You know what I'm saying? Look. Try to win in 5 or 7. Don't go for 6. Okay? Because 6 is a loss. Look at Oklahoma City Thunder. Boston. Remember that Game 6 when Kevin Durant choked his life away. My Game 6. Look, I tell you, the reason why the Raptors won that championship in that Game 6, Klay Thompson tore his ACL. Because Klay Thompson was going off in that Game 6. Game 6, Klay was happening, and they tore his ACL. Only reason. because if they won that game, if Klay Thompson stayed healthy, the Raptors would have blew a 3-1 lead. I promise you, they would have blown a 3-1 lead in the finals, and that plot would have been strong. So
a 3-1 lead? Wow.
They would have. I told all when I was around them Canadians, I told them, don't lose game 6. Don't blow this 3-1 lead, boy, because I promise you go to game 7, I'm telling you ain't got no plot no more. Your plot gone. Trust me. And last but not least, Zach, you see Scott Foster's repping your game? Call it quits.
Repeat that last one?
If Scott Foster, if your referee Scott Foster's refereeing that game, call it quits. Call it quits. It's over.
Just a few on the points you made. Actually, fortunately, the Kings are top 5 in those 3 things you actually mentioned, which is health. They actually starting 5 and a majority of their bench, besides Kevin Huerter, and a little bit of Malik Monk with a little bit of precautionary timeout. They haven't missed a lot of time this year, so that's good. And then also, third quarter wise, the Kings are actually one of the top teams in the league with third quarters and how many points they score. So that's also it. And then, we have the number 1 offense. So I'm praying those 3 things can get us past, so hopefully that'll be 3 of the 5 reasons you named.
Yeah, because one thing is that
that'll be enough to get us 7 games and a win.
Because there's one thing: are y'all top 5 in plot? That's important. Zach, I want.
Depends.
Go ahead.
Wants to make up for 2002.
Oh, he don't. That was David Stern's failures. Adam Silver, a different person. David Stern don't give a F about that. He wanted that Lakers to win. Lakers, what was it? Lakers versus Nets. I tell you, look.
Yeah.
Kings versus Nets. No one would have watched that. That would have been not Kings versus Nets. Nobody. Look. I think Richard Jefferson talked about even when the Lakers came to their stadium. We couldn't sell out in New Jersey, so we eventually had to move. No, we couldn't even sell out. So you tell me if freaking people ain't going to New Jersey Nets games with Lakers finals, you think they going to Sacramento King? Nah, ain't no way. If they don't want to see Shaq and Kobe, they're not going to see Chris Webber and Peja Stojakovic. They're not seeing those people. I'm sorry. So hey, they need to make money. Y'all get no plot. You know what I'm saying? You need to make the Eastern Conference team need to be like New York Knicks. They need to be like a high market team to average that out. But I'm gonna tell you,
be like Milwaukee,
which is low market. So that's why you need very small market. So it's like. But put this perspective. I want you to put this into perspective, Zach, and put this into perspective as well. The Warriors have not lost to a Western Conference team since Steve Kerr has been head coach in the playoffs. They haven't lost to a Western Conference team since Steve Kerr has been the coach. They have beaten every single time the Warriors make the postseason, they go to the finals.
Wait. When you mean a series, right?
A series. They have not lost to a Western Conference team.
No, yeah, they've
in
lost
a playoff.
games. Sure. They just haven't lost a series.
Yeah, because we took them to 7. They can't be that dominant. You know what I'm saying? They can't be. But they've only lost to the Raptors and the Cavaliers. That's the only 2 teams they've lost to. Think about that. That's 2014. Think about that. 2014-15. We are in the 2023 season. They have only lost to the Raptors and Cavs. They have not lost. They have not lost to a single Western Conference team. Zach, if you beat the Golden State Warriors, you will be the first Western Conference team to beat the Warriors in almost 10 years.
Damn, and it took an injury for the Raptors, and it took legit LeBron just being like the best of all time during that series to beat them too. That's tough. Do y'all have the best of all time on your team? Like De'Aaron Fox gonna have to turn into something different that we just never seen. Like I don't know, he gonna have to be like ridiculous.
Sabonis,
the 4 quarters of
Kevin Huerter, Keegan Murray, they're all gonna have to step up, man.
I think it comes down to your coach. I'm not gonna lie to you. Your coach, he gonna have to outcoach Steve Kerr. I don't think it's really the players. Your coach gonna have to outcoach. I forgot his name. Mike. No, is it Mike something?
Brown.
Mike Woodson.
Mike Brown.
Mike Brown. No, Mike Wilson for the Knicks. I'm bugging. Yeah, he gonna have to outcoach Steve Kerr. That's the only. If that happens, y'all will definitely win easily. I say easy, probably still in 6, but we'll see.
It's little that plot. I'm telling you, I just put in perspective. When people say when I say Steph Curry the main character, if you don't understand he the main character, now you should understand. He don't lose. He make the playoffs, he make the finals. When he told Chris Paul, this ain't 2014 no more, he talking about, I win every time. It took the greatest finals performance of all time, and it took 2 of his star players to have season-ending injuries in the series for them to lose. That tells you what you need to know. People get injured. You had people who don't know the score of the game. You got people who missing 27 straight threes. You got people who freaking dislocate their kneecap, break their ankle. You got people. You got all types of plot goes away. You have freaking Jason Tatum who freaking don't know how to score anymore, just completely shuts down in the front. You have all of this plot. Jason Tatum dropped 40 against Giannis, and he in the finals, he can't do nothing. I'm telling you, the plot is different. So, Zach, this is like the ultimate dragon, but this dragon is aging, though. It's an older dragon, but he still got plot, though. If you go be the team to slay that dragon, Zach, this series, because I told you, when I was like, hey, man, when you get to the postseason, it's going to be hard. It's going to be stressful. But what a way to start. Because I tell you, look, when Jared got introduced to the postseason, he faced the Spurs with DeMar DeRozan. Still took him to 7, but he, a softer kind of start, kind of thing. Like, you could beat DeMar DeRozan, right? You facing the guy who hasn't lost in his conference in 10 years. That's who you're facing. Are you going to be the guy? Because the 65-win Rockets and the 61-win Spurs, these 60-win teams, these high 50-win teams, the Jason Tatum Celtics, and all these super great teams couldn't beat the plot. LeBron and Kyrie couldn't beat that plot. Can you beat that plot? Are you the one? De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis, can you beat that plot? Because if you told me that last year, I'd be like, hell no, they're losing. They're getting swept. But I see, y'all are a good team. 3 seed. Obviously, your regular season matters, right? Like, you proven to the world that you were the 3rd best team in the conference. But the playoffs are a different animal. Because, like I said, trust me, I had James Harden and Chris Paul, and I had no plot to come with it. This will show, does De'Aaron Fox's bonus, do they have plot? Do they have plot? He's the clutchest player. De'Aaron Fox, clutchest player in the league. Due to the regular season, you going to win that Clutch Player of the Year award. But when you down 2 points and with a minute remaining in Golden State, and they screaming loud, and Draymond guarding you, you can ask Damian Lillard. Remember Damian Lillard got freaking swept? I remember Damian Lillard, and the funny thing, in that series with Portland, they had 15-point leads in 4 straight games. In that series, that's the only time that's ever happened. You lost every time. That tells you how plot works. They gave it to you, now no, we're taking it back. De'Aaron Fox got Draymond guarding him. Or Andrew Wiggins, he's coming back. Andrew Wiggins going to be guarding him. Can he get that bucket? Can he tie the game? Do you believe in him? Do you believe in him, Zach?
That's what they get paid money for. That's what they win these awards for.
He said, "Like the beam." That's what he's saying. Like the beam. That's what that's what you want to say. Like the beam. They passing the torch. That's what you're gonna say. If they lose it, then I'll probably say pass the torch at this point. The Golden State Warriors are. Their time has come. It happens to everybody. It has to happen.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. It's not their reign can't last forever, man. 10, almost a decade.
That's what I thought last year.
It's plenty time. It's good. It's good to be having a whole almost decade, but it has to come to an end at some point. Hopefully, this is the year.
I love plot, man. Zach, I pray for you, man. I believe y'all can win. Y'all can win the series. It just depends on is the drag, you could tell, you'll watch the series, and Zach, when you watch the series, you'll watch it, see, oh they still have plot. Dang it, they still have plot. When you realize, oh damn, they still have plot, then you know you're gonna lose. But if you're like, oh wait, De'Aaron Fox, you just hit that 3. Maurice, remember when you on 2K? Remember 2K? I remember we were losing to Giannis. We had that, and I remember when you losing to Giannis. Giannis had 60-point 5x5 game. And we were like, hey, man, we're going to lose this game, man. What we going to do? And then Sabonis hit a deep 3 to tie the game. And then in overtime, hit an and 1 to foul out Giannis. That's when I was like, that's when you realize, oh, wait, plot's going my way. And hopefully Sabonis does for his team, too, because Sabonis was crazy at the end of that game.
That's the bonus you need. If you got that Sabonis on the team, y'all make it to the finals, 100%.
That Sabonis was clutch.
He was very clutch in that team.
We thought we were going to lose. That boy hit a deep 3. But look, Zach, you need, if you watch the series like, oh wait, Sabonis just hit an and one and Curry just fouled out. Now, we're gonna win this game. If you start feeling like that and it's consistent, you're like, oh, maybe we can win. But then at the end of the day, when Scott Foster ref Game 7, then you realize, yeah, it's. And then you're like, yeah. If you get, but Zach, you get past the Scott Foster ref Game 7, I'll see you in the finals. I'll see you in the finals, buddy. Because that means you got it. I'll see you in the finals. Y'all go do good. So I'm gonna pray for you. With the Nugget, a quick thing I do want to talk. Jared, I know you're busy right now, but Jared, the Nuggets. Obviously, we talk about the Nuggets a lot. I believe they'll beat that first round team, whoever it is. If it's the Pelicans or freaking Thunder's, like you hit them like a fly. It's like move out my way. That second round Kevin Durant matchup gonna suck though. That second round Phoenix Sun matchup gonna suck. Everybody trying to avoid the Phoenix Suns. They ain't lose yet since they had Kevin Durant. The second round matchup gonna suck. I want to ask y'all though. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna ask y'all this. The West is very interesting because there's a lot of different teams that can do a lot of different things. Who gonna make the finals in the Western Conference, man? Who gonna be the Western Conference champions? Do y'all know? Who do y'all think? Because the Nuggets gonna have to face the Suns in the second round, most likely, right? That sucks. Obviously, Clippers facing the Suns in the first round. That sucks for them. The Kings facing the Warriors in the first round. That sucks. And the Warriors face the Grizzlies, which I can see them beating, and then get to the conference final. And then, all right. But I'm curious, what do y'all think? Who do y'all think make it out the West?
Who gonna make it out the West? I wish you could ask me this question like after game 1 of some of these games. Now it's like I don't know because like the Suns, the players is different. I mean, obviously they went 7-0, and I don't know who they went against with Kevin Durant. They probably I'm gonna assume they went against maybe bums, maybe teams teams that at the end of the season sometimes they usually give you lighter schedule so they want you NBA wants you to not get injured and get their money during the playoffs. So that could also hold true. And he did get injured, so there's also that. I still want who the Nuggets going against? Nuggets are probably going to the Lakers, right? They're probably going to the Lakers, right?
I think they'll go, and I think unless the Lakers going to win. Yeah, Pelicans
they're going against the Pelicans
or Thunder or Timberwolves.
Or the Timberwolves. I still want to go with the Nuggets because I don't know. I don't know what the Suns going to do. Suns got plot because once they got Kevin Durant, that just enhanced that shit. But like, I'm still gonna go with the Nuggets. Yeah, the Nuggets.
That's beautiful for Jared, man. I like I said, I'm going for the Nuggets. I just feel like you the best. I mean, the Nuggets kind of fell off at the end. We were talking about they on a 60-win pace. On 53 games or something like that. Like, yeah, like, what y'all doing, man? Y'all losing on. And Jokic kept resting and all that. I was like, I feel it. I wouldn't rest my players that much because I need them to play a little bit to get some, like, synergy, energy, cohesiveness. But it's cool. Zach, who you think? Who do you believe? Oh, Zach went away. Okay, I was going to ask, who do you believe was going to make the. I was going to ask, who do you believe is going to be in the Western Conference Championship? Or who going to be the Western Conference champions?
If we're talking strictly off star power, I gotta go with the Suns.
You hate them though.
Man, I really do. Obviously things happen. Officials happen. Injuries, all types of factors can play in. Very well could be the Suns. Very well could be the Kings. Luckily with the Western Conference Finals being so tight, or not finals, I'm sorry, the Western Conference standings being so tight for the majority of the dang season, that kind of just shows that the power is kind of, fluctuating. So, it's anybody's game, really. Could be as easily the Nuggets, could be any of the top 6 teams, really, or even the 7, 8 Lakers, But in my honest opinion, Suns and Bucks would probably be, I feel like, the most top consensus opinion.
NBA like this, dog. So that's what they want. They said Suns, Bucks. Oh, bringing them revenue, please.
Katie versus Giannis.
Devin Booker versus Giannis, and Middleton and all them. Oh, Brook Lopez. So, I do like Brook Lopez too.
But they're gonna lose though because they got Chris Paul on their team. So and something.
Chris Paul gonna play.
Yeah, so
Chris Paul gonna play.
So shout out to the Bucks for being 2023 champions.
Oh yeah, they Bucks could have been dynastic if they won last year.
It's Chris Paul to get a championship. They're like, no.
I feel sorry for Chris Paul, man. Nope. I feel sorry for Chris Paul, man. Nope. Especially Scott Foster refing him too, because Scott Foster need to be banned for Chris Paul games. Scott Foster, he has not won a single game.
They really should though. Why won't the NBA do that? I mean, obviously, like, they can't really prove that he's. I mean, they could prove that he could be cheating, but like, I mean, let's just see. I mean, like, just don't have him. Like, Scott Foster got plenty of other games that he can ref. Why does he have to ref Chris Paul games?
Chris Paul hasn't won a single game in the postseason with Scott Foster refing. That's hilarious.
I think it's more so. Well, officiating this whole season has been horrible. Like, I mean, like, it's been like
I get text for everything.
Egregiously bad this year. But I feel like with Scott Foster, it's just his name. Like, everybody knows what kind of ref he is. He's considered a top ref to the league. That doesn't mean he's going to be a top ref in the eyes of the fans, of course. So I feel like it's just the league likes him, and they back him, they stand by him, no matter.
Yeah, when they don't stand by. They were Chris Paul the president for a while. Why are they holding Chris Paul? He's an NBPA or whatever, like the president of the NBA players whatever association. Yeah, they holding him though. I wish if Chris Paul had some power to do something, say, bro, don't have Scott. You can have Scott Foster ref me in the regular season, but don't. And if you're gonna ban me, if you're not gonna ban him with me with the postseason, ban him in a game 6 or 7. Ban him in them late games because I need those wins. Give me what's another one? What's Tony Brothers? Tony Brothers gets a lot of flack too. Tony Brothers never get a lot of flack, but Scott Foster is definitely
that's still two people. I still believe it's two people.
I know you believe that. You thought it was two brothers who repped.
I straight up those two brothers. That's crazy as hell.
Well, it's just one guy.
I was like, when you told me that, because I think it was maybe a Golden State game with the Rockets. You said Scott Foster and Tony Brothers were reffing that game, and I was like, oh, okay, so you got Scott Foster and two brothers. Straight up believe it like it was nothing. I was okay, like that makes sense. That's cool.
That's hilarious. They both reffing that game. That game was a loss. I know.
This season he had. What did he do this season that he kicked a certain player out? Right?
Talking about Foster, Scott Foster?
No, Tony Brothers.
Oh, he probably did too. Yeah, I know Scott Foster kicked out Scotty Barnes. It was hilarious.
That got him a lot of flack. I just can't remember what.
Maybe there was a referee who kicked out Fred VanVleet, and Fred VanVleet was very pissed and started cussing.
No. I'm sorry. That was yeah, I think that was Scott Foster.
I ain't gotta worry about this. Beautiful thing, I ain't gotta worry about none of these referees. None. I ain't in the postseason, but I'm trying to get Wembanyama. I ain't gotta worry about none of that. That's bait.
Yes, okay. Tony Brothers was the one that Spencer Dinwiddie was talking about. That said, he told him. Remember that one? When Spencer.
Oh yeah. Okay. I think I know what you're talking about.
Spencer Dinwiddie had that post game where he was like, "I just want to be treated with respect, not talked behind my back or whatever." You remember that?
Yeah.
That was what he was a part of. Okay.
These referees,
I knew it was something crazy. Because Spencer Dinwiddie's a very stand-up guy. Like, he's very well spoken. He's, he's just a guy. You really can't hate Spencer Dinwiddie, especially in his interviews. So when he comes out and says a ref is talking to him some crazy way, you're gonna believe him, especially with the refs now they got.
He should still be a Mav to this day. Too bad.
He should still be a Mav. The chemistry at least was good.
They were dropping out the Suns that day too. Game 7, they were all dropping out the Suns. They could have used Eric Gordon that day.
Brunson, man. All they had to do was pay him.
And y'all should have traded for Eric Gordon too, Phoenix.
He pissed off. Mark Cuban pissed. He said he blamed his dad for the reason
for Jalen Brunson
for leaving. Yeah. He said it's right when his parents step in, that's when things changed.
I feel it though. Hey, Luka missed Jalen Brunson. Hey, like I said, Maurice, for the first time ever, you bamboozled someone, right? Usually they bamboozle you for the first time ever, and you get over on them.
Look at us, dog. Look at us. Wow.
For the Porzingis trade, you got the Jalen Brunson stuff. Like, you just partner with the Mavs when you do moves. And you got it. Wow. No one else. You always lose with everyone else, but partner with Dallas. That's good.
Damn.
But I did want to ask, and the last thing I want to ask is obviously the NBA and the legacies of the NBA players are very important. I feel like they're more important in this sport than they are in all the other American sports. So I want to ask, what does winning a championship do for this player in your eyes? So if LeBron James, as a 7th seed, is able to win the NBA championship this year, is he officially, in your eyes, the NBA GOAT?
Yeah. Yeah. And shout out to you got to look at Rob Pelinka too. People's get on his ass,
roasting him.
Now, and he might go down one of the greatest GMs too, just for that trade.
Zach, what you think?
Yeah, I mean, people always say, "Oh, well, Michael Jordan's never lost the finals. He's 6-0, all that." And that is true, but when you look at LeBron, I believe LeBron hasn't. If he makes it to the playoffs, he goes to the finals, right?
For most of the time, they did lose to Phoenix that one time in the first round, but
yeah,
most of the time.
Right. Well, majority of the time. But with Michael Jordan, there's plenty of series where he lost first round, second round. He didn't always make it to the finals, so it's kind of a close call with both of them. Of course, with us, there's more recency bias since we're younger and we watch LeBron more. But
yeah,
I feel like if he can win as a 7th seed, yeah, for sure, that would kind of cement him.
Yeah, I would give because with Michael Jordan, like I said, he has the most plot of all time. In the 90s, he essentially never lost except for that one time when he was kind of rusty versus Orlando. So I was like, yeah, there's a lot of plot. And he has a lot of games, too, that have, like, names of them. And that's only someone when you write a script from. Like, you have the fluke game. You got the shrug game. Spectacular move by Michael Jordan. You got the shot, in Utah. You got too much. You got the 55 double nickel game against Knicks. You got a lot of things. So, but if LeBron's able to be the 7th seed, that'd be the lowest seed of all time to win a championship. That means he would have beaten the Houston Rockets record as a 6th seed, which would make me slightly upset, but I guess I should be fine with it. The Lakers win a championship. Yeah, I'll give it to him.
And this is the first time he has an adversity plot, too.
Oh, yeah.
This is a very, that's like, I would say the second best plot. And
actually,
there's no adversity?
No, this is the second time he's had adversity plot. When he lost to Dallas in that terrible finals, he definitely had adversity plot the next year because that was terrible.
I guess. Okay.
Yeah, that was terrible. He hadn't won a championship up to that point, and that was pretty terrible. So that was definitely. But yeah, 7th seed. Is he an underdog? I don't know. But another question: Steph Curry. If Steph Curry wins the championship this year, is he officially seen as a better point guard all time against Magic Johnson? Is he number 1? Obviously, Magic's a more better pure point guard, but when we rank the point guard list, is he number 1 all time on the point guard list? That's the greatest point guard of all time.
Correct. Yeah. If he wins this time, he wins Finals MVP. Yeah. He definitely will go down as the best point guard of all time. So no more Magic. So yeah, no, there's no more Magic.
He's changed the game. So.
Yeah, like what Magic said, he was like, hee. That was hilarious. Magic Johnson hilarious. If Giannis wins the championship, is he a top 20 player of all time? I might say top 15. Let's say top 15.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would have thought he was maybe reaching top 20 now. Is he a top 15? If he wins, how many? He has 2. He would have 2 after this one. After this one,
yeah.
Is there any other people who has two finals that are top 15? Hakeem.
I mean, there's obviously like a lot of top 10 players with that, but you said 2 Finals MVPs and 2 championships.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 MVPs and 2 Finals MVPs. You say
in the top 15, other than Hakeem. Well, Hakeem don't have a MVP.
Yeah, there's 1 MVP.
Yeah.
One MVP. And David Robinson has 2 championships and 1 MVP.
I would say he'd be top 15. If I can't think of anything, I would say he's top 15 if he wins.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me give you some top 50 players. Tell me, is he better? Is he better than Kevin Garnett?
If he wins his finals or just now?
Yes.
Okay.
If he wins his finals, is he greater than Kevin Garnett?
Yes.
And Zach, do you believe better than Kevin Garnett? I'm not. Well, I'm gonna say the man in Utah that a lot of people dislike for
you can't say his name.
A lot of people. I'll say Karl Malone, boy, you biggest choker in history of this playoff stuff. I ain't gonna lie to you, but
he'll be better than Karl Malone. I would think so as well.
Will you better than David Robinson?
That's hard. I mean,
maybe another MVP.
Maybe one more MVP. He wouldn't have to win another finals. I don't think he would. If you got one more MVP or something, or maybe another defensive player of the year, then probably. He wouldn't have to win another finals.
5-time defensive player of the year, if we're being honest. But the league doesn't like giving it. But he arguably could have won it 5 times already.
Yeah,
but,
true.
We're not talking about hypotheticals. No, I agree with you, Maurice, though. I say one more MVP. He's already passed Robinson. And then if he wins a championship, a third one, that's the icing on the cake right there.
Oh, but here's a big one. Here's a big boy one. I'll tell you a big boy one.
You can say Hakeem?
Yeah. No, I'm not saying Hakeem.
Oh.
I'm saying one that's kind of big boy, but let's see. Is he better all time than Kevin Durant if he wins a championship?
All time? Damn.
Then Kevin Durant. Does he beat Kevin Durant all time?
If he
wins this championship this year, is he better than Kevin Durant all time?
Well, in accolades, yes. I would say in accolades.
Yeah, but is he a greater player? Was he be greater on the all-time list? To be greater than Kevin Durant if he win?
He also doesn't have 4 All-Stars right next to him.
It's just like I want to say it too. Like, yeah, if he definitely gets this one, if he gets a third one, it's so easy. Yes, but if he gets this one,
but the second one, I'm talking about second one, not third one.
Yeah, like maybe because he legit, he had a small market team, good front office. They got all the players that he needed, and he did the job. He's in the East. I would say, and the East has. I would say he's probably better than Kevin Durant if he wins this one.
Yeah, greater player. He'd be greater.
Slightly though. I mean, like, it's hard for me to say that shit too. Like, I really don't want to say, but it's hard. Yeah.
Kevin Durant top 15 for sure. Say that's. I know that was the hard because I'm not gonna say over Hakeem yet. We got to get the third one for Hakeem.
Yeah, not Hakeem.
Not Hakeem, but Kevin Durant's the hard one because
I'd say it would be kind of like David Robinson. He'd have to win at least 2 more. Just because, man, Kevin Durant, regardless of if you say he ran to go guard, ran to join others, ran to all the winning teams, had all-stars, regardless of all that stuff, you have to respect Giannis because he stayed loyal to his team. He didn't run. They put pieces around him to help him win these championships. Not crazy pieces like Steph Curry and Clay, but, he
good
did
pieces.
what he could do, and he showed he's a great player. But I'd say Kevin Durant, though, he'd have to win probably 2 more. This one and then another one.
Because Kevin Durant a bucket, man. Giannis versus Kevin Durant. Like, who you taking? If you had to draft, who you taking? Prime Giannis or Prime KD? Who are you taking? I'd still
take Prime KD.
Yeah, you got the shooting.
Yeah, I would definitely take Prime KD. I like Prime KD on this team. Like, on the Bucks team would be fucking amazing. Like, that shit would be. I would be terrified.
And he would lose to Golden State in Game 6 because he got no plot.
Hey, bro, but hey, at least we get to see buckets. Let's see him making a whole bunch of crazy shots.
What would it take for Giannis to be a GOAT then? Like, what would it take? Like, how many championships and MVPs he need to get to be the greatest player of all time?
4 championships, 4 Finals MVPs in all 4 of them. Probably about 3 more Defensive Player of the Years, which he can easily do.
Yeah. They give Rudy Gobert instead. Just give it to Rudy Gobert.
That'd be way off. That wouldn't even be. They'd just be being nice at that point.
But yeah, I would agree. Exactly. Yeah. 4 championships, 4 finals, and maybe a couple more Defensive Player of the Years. And then I would say. Pretty much go to it. Like, especially if he's like the top 2 seeds and all these times he makes it. Yeah, easy. Yeah.
All right. So okay, let me name. Well, Zach, you about to say something?
Yeah, man. My bad. I was gonna say when I said 4 championships, I meant total. I didn't mean like 4 more. Like, I think.
Because if 4 more, it'd be easy. Yeah, you win 6, he'd be the greatest player in American sports. 4 more. Goodness gracious, buddy. Super dynasty.
That's definite GOAT.
Yeah, especially in Milwaukee too. He better than Kareem. Ha
ha. Brooke Lopez and all them aren't gonna stay forever, so he'd have to win it with some newer players.
Yeah, hey, he got. Hey, look, if you're the main character, I like you more than I like the last one, so that's perfectly fine with me. If Nikola Jokic wins the championship, is he a top 5 center of all time?
Is he a top 5 center? No, I wouldn't say yet. Maybe. No.
With two MVPs and a championship and a finals MVP? Not a lot of people do that.
2 MVPs. Triple doubles by a center.
Of all time,
He's
easily.
probably going to be top 10. He's probably easily going to be top 10 in assists for a center. Might be.
Oh, he'll be number one. He'll be number one day.
I mean, I meant number 1, but I meant top 10.
All time.
Yeah, all time. Would he be? Maybe. Yeah. Let me look at. I want to look at my list, but sorry. Yeah, I'll probably give it some. Top 5. He'd be number.
Championship.
Yeah, if he wins a championship, so he'll have 2 MVPs and 1 championship with the Finals MVP. Is he top 5?
Would he be a top 10 center?
He's probably top. He's probably like 8 or 9 right now. But is he top 5 all time if he does that?
Top 5 all time.
That's an impressive resume though. Not a lot of people got that resume. Yeah, 2 MVPs in the championship.
It is easier to score in this NBA in this era, so it's kind of hard to compare just because it is a lot easier to score, to be honest. But
roast these kids.
You can't really dispute those accolades, though. Like he earned it for sure. So
yeah, Joel Embiid's never been first team All NBA because of Nikola Jokic. But this year, Joel Embiid, okay, where's Joel Embiid? If he wins championship, what's that do for him? Because I'm not calling him a top 5 center, but what is he? If Joel Embiid's actually, I'm gonna ask, if Joel Embiid's win a championship, is he better than Nikola Jokic? If Joel Embiid wins a championship, is he better than Nikola Jokic?
Like for next season coming up, like who will he be better next season?
Yeah, will we see he's the best center in the league? Will we give him that rank?
Yeah, I probably would.
Yeah,
if he wins the championship this year. Yeah.
If he just goes further with him.
If he goes what?
If he just goes further, like with Jokic losing second round and B losing the third round.
Nah, I'll still probably get the Jokic. I'll still probably get the Jokic.
Yeah,
but,
are we about to ask?
I think are we about to start the positionalists? Is it this year they're gonna do positionalists All NBA? So like they both can make the first All NBA teams, right? Now.
Yep.
I think this is the first year, huh?
Is it this year or the end of next year?
I thought it might be next year since they incorporate the 65 game. Is this year?
Yeah, because they're talking about how Sabonis can still make it even with all these centers they got. They're saying he'll be a third team center, but
no way. Hey. You can make first team. Hey, good for him. You make first team on NBA. Joel, welcome to the club, huh? I'm happy Joel Embiid, man. I'm happy for Joel Embiid.
Jokic, Giannis, and Joel, all 3 of those.
Those 3 best players in the league.
Yeah. That's
3 best players in the league.
Positionless was the way to go, though, for sure. Positionless was definitely the way to go. Because that's how basketball is becoming. Sure, you have them on paper as this, but, positionless is the way the NBA is moving. So they have to also adjust that to the awards they give out, for sure.
Yeah, hey, well, good job, NBA, with your CBA rules, so these people can't fly 2,000 miles away just to see their favorite player not play the game and waste all their money, and that would be very hilarious and terrible at the same time. So play those 65 games, guys.
Yeah, what you think about that? I don't think the 65 games. You think that was like it should be more, like, or less?
I think that should be. I think that's fine because if you get injured. You get an injury, you have some, if it's like 70, I know Chuck was like 70, 75 or something. Like if you get injured and then you miss like 10 games and you can't miss any more games than getting the All NBA type thing. Like, no, I think 65 is a good threshold. I think if KD played enough games, he'd be like 60, 40, 90. I think he had like a 60, 40, 90 average, which is, I think that's never happened before. I'm pretty sure that's not happened before. But, it happened only 47 games, but he got to play more. So 65 games, I think, is a pretty good average for that. And all the little extra rules. I don't know about that. I don't know what that tournament is. I still don't understand it. They have like a little tournament in December. I still don't understand it. You have to look into it. There's like an in-season tournament. There's like you get extra cash for it too. I think it helps affect the standings as well. I don't understand. I'll look into it more and I'll just watch it when it happens.
Next year? It starts next year?
Yeah, next year.
I didn't even hear about that.
There's going to be a neutral side, I think, for the end of it.
I personally don't think, no matter what incentives they put in it, I don't think it's going to be worth it, man. These players play a lot. I know they get a lot of slack for sitting games, resting, all that stuff. A lot of people want to always talk crap about how NBA players are cowards. They sit out all the time. But in my opinion,
get on them.
The tournament's not gonna. It's not gonna be incentivized enough. It's gonna end up just like the NFL Pro Bowl. Like it's gonna be boring, or like the All-Star Game in general. I mean, no one. If the ratings were down, no one watched it. No one cared for it. You know.
Oh, so it's like the All-Star Game. That's what it is. That's what the tournament is.
Well,
no, it might be a little different because, like I said,
it's like
basketball.
I mean, baseball. Like whoever wins the baseball All-Star game, right? They get home court advantage or home field advantage.
I mean, back in the day, yeah, but they stopped doing that because obviously, like people could get pissed if they have 100 wins and don't have home field. But
I meant it from a rating standpoint. I didn't mean it more. I don't know.
In an actual game,
too much into it, but my opinion, I think the ratings wise, it won't, because they're obviously doing it for revenue and ratings. That's all they ever do anything for. So, but my opinion, I don't think the ratings will increase because of some stupid mid-season tournament they want to do. Like,
I feel you. I mean, they have I don't know. They have. I think there's like an incentive. Like, I think there's like it affects the standings as well. So maybe if they push that harder, maybe that could be something. But hey, y'all make y'all money, NBA. Do your thing. Hopefully, hey, I say if you gonna play, don't low manage. Like you could play, unless you're injury prone, but like just play like the first quarter, first half. You know what I'm saying? Like do something like that. So at least if someone flew hundreds of miles away to see you, they can see some of you. You know what I'm saying? Like don't just sit, unless if you're like Anthony Davis and you're always injured, you could announce to the crowd before hey, we're not playing Anthony Davis on the second night of back-to-back. So you can expect, okay, first night back-to-backs, I get to go see Anthony Davis. Second night, don't go.
It just sucks. A lot of people buy their things. They don't really buy their tickets like right when the games come. Like people buy tickets like months beforehand. Like when I went to go see the Knicks Rockets, I bought that ticket granted, that was the only time I bought it like within a day. That's because I was like, it was New Year's. I'm like, let's go do something. But most people, I feel like they would buy it a month in advance. I think that's probably the reason. I think the real reason why they did the 65 game limit is for the incentives. Like, because like if you play this amount of games, if you make an NBA All-Star team or NBA All NBA, they get extra money. So they was like, if you ain't gonna play that, then you ain't get no extra money. So it really depends. They didn't really do it for the fans. There's really, but the NBA came to the players. It was like, do you want the money or you want to sit out these games? One of the two. Because if we ain't making money, you ain't making money. I guess that was they dilemma. So we'll figure what they do.
Yeah, hey, low management, man. Hey, Michael Jordan said I play every game because I know somebody out there ain't never seen me play, and I want them to know who I am.
Michael Jordan didn't give a damn about them kids, dog. He didn't give two shits about that. He came there so he can like baptize the Knicks and have bragging rights on whoever team they played. That's the real reason why he was playing. He won bragging rights.
Yeah, he did destroy the Knicks too.
He did a lot of teams, but my team.
Y'all up 2-0 and lost. Y'all up 2-0 and lost.
Shout out to Patrick Ewing, dog. Look at him. Damn.
Hey, look, like I said, in every generation, there's always a main character. Michael Jordan is the ultimate main character. Last year during the All-Star game, Cleveland thing where everyone was there, Michael Jordan was like the last person. Everyone was cheering, going crazy, and he was like in the center of all the NBA players. When they had all of them were together, he was in the center of all of them. I was like, yo, that is a main character, man. They got all these players out here, all these legends, all-time players, and that's the guy that's in the middle. That's beautiful. Where main characters unite. They should have a thing like the Heisman House with all the NFL players. They have a main character house. Bring one of them isn't here with us, sadly. But bring the other main characters and let it go crazy. But thank you guys for joining this podcast. The NBA season, regular season has wrapped up, obviously, but this play-in and playoffs are gonna be lit. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. The playoff content's gonna be lit. So jump on, and we will catch you guys on the next one. We are out of here. Peace.